All right, welcome back. We continue talking about the wild card weekend, which produced some crazy results like last night with Jacksonville coming all the way back from 27-0. We get into all this stuff in a minute. I want to frame this first, Colin, to you about what the Steelers can learn, because what we saw were some pretty good offensive schemes. The fact that you had two seventh-round quarterbacks this year as rookies lead their teams to over 30 points says a lot about scheme, I think.
We also saw Trevor Lawrence, who has the best hair outside of you, Bob. But no, you know what I saw?
I wish I could grow it that long. I like that.
He used to back in your day. You know what I saw? I saw teams use pre-snap motion. I saw teams use the middle of the field. I saw teams use crossing routes. The Steelers, do they have the talent? Do they have the quarterback that can throw the football? I don't know. What I do know is they don't ever run the scheme. They don't use the middle of the field, and they don't use crossing routes. If you're Mike Tomlin, if you're somebody on the offensive staff of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you look at any of the football that's played and you say, why don't we do that? Why don't we run more play action if Najee Harris is supposed to be pretty good? And our offensive line got better as the year went on. That's what I saw. I saw schemes where it looked like the Steelers were a 1984 Pinto, and other people were driving a Ferrari.
Mark?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say here. What I saw off of that game was a lot of things you don't see with the Steelers were the catch and run plays. You know, I saw it in San Francisco. I saw Deebo Samuel. I saw Brandon Ayuk do it. The catch, run after the ball, make small plays into big plays. The Steelers just didn't do that this year.
Is that scheme?
I don't know if that's scheme. I don't know if that's scheme or not, but we always have to be very careful with scheme in context of this year, because we don't know what that scheme was because of the youngness of the offensive line and the quarterback and the running back and all of that. So maybe, I mean, then you look at Matt Canada's both years. He was sort of hindered 2 years ago. He was sort of hindered this year of what he wanted to do. I'm not saying that makes him a great, he's going to come out and just all of a sudden do something different next year, but I don't know if we see truly what Matt Canada can do offensive coordinator-wise, or if he realizes it just doesn't work.
For 14 or 18 to run an eagle screen, though, over them and catch the football with their feet moving.
Play action, too. We don't see enough play action, Jason.
We don't see enough play action, and to Mark's point, we don't see enough. Deontay Johnson, paid like a #1 receiver, you would want to see #1 receiver yards after the catch, and we're not seeing it. Like, I looked at a lot of teams this weekend, including today, with far superior weapons than the Steelers. And maybe that is a part of Matt Canada's offense. Maybe it is not. But I know this. If you have athletic skill players who can make things happen, yards after the catch, due to athleticism, whatever, it's going to make up for that. The Steelers don't have enough of it. And as a result, their offense is too vanilla. I don't understand the sticking to Canada mindset when assuming that's what it is. You got a great taste of what else is out there this weekend. Shop at that store.
We were told unsolicited, though, more than one time. Mark, you sat in those press conferences by Mike Tomlin. We were told unsolicited the importance of a mobile quarterback and a guy who can move out of the pocket before they drafted Kenny Pickett. Then they did draft Kenny Pickett, and they didn't utilize him outside of the pocket.
I think they got spooked after the couple concussions on that one a little bit. But back to the play-action passes, and that Baltimore game, that was right for play-action passes. But when you continuously run from the shotgun, if you're going up to the line of scrimmage, guess what I'm thinking? Now, you're probably going to play action right here. I wish they would get rid of that you know, whatever it is, the pistol formation, whatever formation they use when they do their play action off the side. I think that's hindering them right there a lot for the play action.
I have 1 minute, one strategy question. Jason, you first. Last night in the game, it was 30-26 after Jacksonville scored. They would have kicked the extra point had not Bosa decided to lose his mind, got a penalty, and moves it to 1. They went for 2, which is risky, yet if they get it, they have a chance to win the game without overtime. Were you surprised that Doug Peterson did that, knowing that if he misses, he's got to score a touchdown, not a field goal now at the end of the game?
I was surprised, Pomp. Watching the game live, I was yelling at my television that they should kick the field goal. What are they doing? As I sort of sat back, and this is probably me just not grasping it immediately, I started to like the call. I liked the aggressiveness. I tried to put myself on that team, and if my coach was going for that,
if it doesn't work, do you say the same thing?
I do, because I like hunting it there.
It's crazy how much a difference between what the 2-yard line and the 1-yard line makes in that account. But it's the same thing. If it didn't work, it's terrible. If it did work, it was great. So
I loved it, Bob. I loved it because you know why? It worked.
It worked.
It worked. If it didn't work, a lot of people would be hating it, and that includes people in Jacksonville. When we come back, we're going to talk about Brian Flores. Where will he end up? Where should he end up? How will it impact the Steelers? That's next right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.